There is a leaf growing in the shade of your backyard right now that contains more vitamin C than oranges, more iron than spinach, and more potassium than bananas. One plant delivers what the supplement industry charges $40 a month to approximate. It requires no sunlight, no watering, no care whatsoever. It grows so aggressively that gardeners have declared war on it for centuries. Medieval monks cultivated it as their primary medicine. Viking settlers carried it across oceans to guarantee survival in new lands. German scientists in 1947 documented its nutritional profile and called it one of the most complete food sources in the European flora. Then it vanished from every nutrition textbook. Not because the research was wrong, the research was buried because it threatened an industry that did not yet exist. The global supplement market now generates $177 billion annually, selling pills that cannot match what this leaf provides for free. This is the story of the weed that outperforms your medicine cabinet. Welcome to Recession Roots. Before we dig into this vault, if these roots matter to you, the best way to preserve this knowledge is simple. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share these roots with those who need to remember what we forgot. The story begins in the year 800 in the monastery gardens of Central Europe. Benedictine monks had a problem. Their vows required periods of fasting that left them weakened and sick. They needed a plant that could deliver maximum nutrition from minimum calories. They found it growing in the shaded corners where nothing else survived. The monks called it bishop's weed because it spread through their gardens like doctrine through the faithful. They planted it deliberately around every new monastery they founded. When monks traveled to establish new abbeys, they carried roots wrapped in wet cloth. Within decades, the plant grew beside every Benedictine settlement from Ireland to Poland. This is ground elder, Aegopodium podagraea. The Germans call it giersch. Scandinavians know it as kierskål. The English named it bishop's weed, goutweed, and herb gerard after the patron saint of gout sufferers. Every name tells part of its story. The monks used it for everything. They ate young leaves raw in spring salads. They cooked mature leaves like spinach. They mashed roots into poultices for inflamed joints. The name goutweed persists because medieval healers prescribed it for arthritis with remarkable success. Modern analysis would eventually explain why. The anti-inflammatory compounds in ground elder rival pharmaceutical interventions, but the monks understood something else. Brothers who ate ground elder regularly stayed healthier than those who did not. They recovered faster from illness. They maintained strength during fasting periods. The plant was not just medicine, it was survival. When Vikings colonized new territories, they brought ground elder with them. Archaeobotanical evidence confirms its presence at Norse settlements across the North Atlantic: Iceland, Greenland, the Faroe Islands. Everywhere Vikings landed, ground elder followed. They were not transporting a weed, they were transporting health insurance. The plant offered something no other food could match in northern climates. It emerged in early spring when nothing else was edible. After months of preserved meat and dried fish, scurvy lurked in every settlement. Ground elder shoots pushed through snow while ice still covered the ground. Fresh vitamin C when bodies desperately needed it. In 1947, German botanist Heinrich Marzel published comprehensive nutritional analysis of European wild plants. His research on ground elder produced numbers that should have revolutionized nutrition science. Vitamin C content exceeded 140 milligrams per 100 grams of fresh leaves. Oranges contain 53 milligrams. Ground elder delivers nearly 3 times more. Iron levels reached 7 milligrams per 100 grams. Spinach, the supposed iron champion, contains only 2.7. Ground elder provides 2.5 times more iron than the vegetable Popeye made famous. The potassium content measured over 500 milligrams per 100 grams. That exceeds bananas. Calcium, magnesium, manganese, copper, zinc. Every mineral the human body requires appeared in significant concentrations. Marzel documented vitamin A precursors, B vitamins, and protein content rivaling many legumes. One wild plant delivered what would require a dozen supplements to replicate. Marzell called it a complete nutritional source hiding in plain sight. His research was published in German scientific journals. It was never translated into English. It never reached American nutritionists. It never influenced dietary guidelines anywhere. The timing explains why. In 1941, the first commercial multivitamin appeared in American pharmacies. By 1947, the supplement industry was building its foundation. Companies needed consumers to believe nutrition came from bottles, not backyards. Research proving a common weed outperformed their products could not be allowed to spread. The suppression was not dramatic. No books were burned. No scientists were silenced. The research simply was not promoted, not translated, not taught. Nutrition education focused on deficiency diseases cured by specific vitamins. The message was clear: you need supplements. You cannot get everything from food, certainly not from weeds. By 1970, the American supplement industry reached $1 billion in annual sales. By 2000, it exceeded $17 billion. Today, it generates over $50 billion in the United States alone. Globally, $177 billion flow toward pills, powders, and capsules every year. That revenue depends on one belief: you cannot get adequate nutrition from food alone. Ground elder disproves this completely. One serving of leaves delivers more bioavailable nutrients than any multivitamin because whole food nutrients absorb differently than synthetic isolates. Your body evolved to extract nutrition from plants, not pills. The synergy of compounds in ground elder enhances absorption in ways laboratories cannot replicate. In 2012, researchers at the University of Vienna analyzed ground elder's bioactive compounds. They found flavonoids with documented anti-inflammatory effects. They identified polyacetylenes that showed activity against harmful bacteria. They measured antioxidant capacity exceeding most cultivated vegetables. The research confirmed what monks knew 1200 years ago. This plant heals. But the biological impossibility lies in where it grows. Ground elder thrives in deep shade where vegetables fail. It tolerates soil so poor that grass struggles. It survives drought by going dormant, then resurrects when moisture returns. The plant spreads through underground rhizomes that can regenerate from fragments smaller than a fingernail. Gardeners call it a nightmare. Permaculturists call it a miracle. The difference is perspective. Every characteristic that makes ground elder unkillable makes it perfect for food security. It requires no irrigation, it needs no fertilizer, it demands no sunlight, it laughs at neglect. You cannot eliminate it without herbicides, and even then, it often returns. The herbicide industry has profited enormously from ground elder's reputation. Garden centers sell glyphosate specifically for goutweed control. Online forums recommend repeated chemical applications over multiple years. Homeowners spend hundreds of dollars trying to kill a plant their great-grandmothers ate for breakfast. That absurdity reveals the depth of forgetting. We poison what could feed us because no one taught us its value. We buy supplements while spraying their superior replacement with carcinogens. Ground elder is impossible to misidentify once you know it. The leaves grow in groups of 3, each leaflet divided into 3 again. 9 points per leaf cluster, shaped roughly like a goat's foot. The stems are hairless, triangular in cross-section, and hollow. Crush a leaf and smell it. The aroma is distinctive, somewhere between parsley and celery. The white flower clusters resemble other plants in the carrot family, but the leaves are unmistakable. Harvest young leaves in spring when they first emerge. These are tender enough for salads. Mature leaves become tougher and better suited for cooking. Treat them exactly like spinach. Sauté with garlic. Add to soups. Blend into pesto. The flavor is mild, slightly earthy, and completely inoffensive. Ground elder produces continuously from early spring through late fall. One patch provides greens for 8 months. No replanting required, no seed purchases, no fertilizer, no care whatsoever. We did not lose ground elder. We were taught to hate it. Garden magazines called it invasive. Extension services called it a pest. Chemical companies called it a target. 1,200 years of European food tradition was erased in 2 generations, but the plant never left. It still grows in every shaded corner, every neglected fence line, every woodland edge where human attention never reaches. It still delivers more nutrition than your multivitamin. It still costs nothing. It still waits. Every leaf harvested instead of poisoned is a rejection of corporate nutrition. Every salad made from ground elder is $40 kept from supplement companies. Every gardener who learns to eat their weeds becomes harder to control, harder to sell to, harder to convince that health comes in bottles. The monks knew. The Vikings knew. Your great-grandmother probably knew. Now you know too. If this root revealed something for you, subscribe to Recession Roots and hit the bell. Every like and every share preserves what they tried to poison out of existence. The next root breaks ground soon.